Peace, family. It's your boy King of Tuna, back again with another episode. Today's episode, I have a very, very special guest with me. I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kembabazi. I'm a Ugandan YouTuber and makeup artist. Yeah, he'll put my link to.
It's gonna be in the description down below. Today, we're gonna discuss 5 expectations that you should have upon your first time arriving to Uganda. So, without further waiting, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. Alright, family. So, my first question is going to be weather. The first thing we're going to discuss is weather, rather. So, what do you think some things like people should expect as far as the weather goes when you first get to Uganda?
So, the Ugandan weather is very warm. Our normal temperature is 25 degrees, so it's quite hot. Okay. If someone is coming from a cold environment, yeah. And it's like that most of the year, so it can go a little bit low or even a little bit high. But if you're in the central, which is Kampala, where the capital is, it can be 25, any up to 27, 30, that's very hot. Okay. But if you go out of Kampala to like the western part of Uganda, some regions are quite cold, like Fort Portal is a bit cold, Kabale is a bit cold, all those are in the western part of the country, they are really cold. They could go up to like maybe 10, or 10 is so cold, okay. Maybe like 18.
So when somebody visits like Kampala, what kind of clothes should they wear? Should they bring like a jacket or anything like that?
No, so you can wear like light clothes, okay. Like a simple t-shirt, yeah. A vest can work as well. Okay. Something like shorts as well, okay. Yeah. Kampala is very warm actually. If it's a foreigner coming in, it's very warm. The night tends to be very, very hot as well. I believe you've experienced that. You don't have to cover yourself with like a duvet or yeah, so it's quite warm here.
I usually keep me a light jacket with me. Sometimes, like, if it rains during the day, then I'll bring a light jacket at night. But if it's hot all day, I really don't bring nothing at night.
Yes, you really don't have to. So it's really very, very warm all year through. It's all warm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so this weather like favorable to go to like beaches, like get in the water or something like that?
Yes, it is favorable to get in the water, but some days are rainy, sometimes you experience the rain. So Uganda doesn't have like winter, summer, autumn, spring. We don't have that. So it's either a rainy season or a dry season or hot season. But the seasons are also not very, very distinct. So I could say around your summer, June, July, we also have it. It tends to be very hot, okay. And then there is no rain as well. Okay. Yeah. And then winter, December, still, when December comes, we are going to experience some rains. Okay. So it's going to rain, but it won't still be cold, like, yeah. Okay. So we have rainy season and sunny season, and that's it.
All right, thank you very much.
But it could rain in the morning, and then after 1 hour, it's shining. So it won't, and then it could even rain the whole day, and then after the rain, it shines immediately. So it's weather. It's not
experienced that a lot actually. Yeah. I actually got caught in the rain on a boda. We just pulled over to the side of the road and ran to somebody's shop, stood underneath their overhang, and waited for the rain to stop. It took like 10, 15 minutes maybe, and then the sunshine came right back out.
So the other funny thing is, it can be raining here. You walk a few minutes and you find it's not raining in town.
Yeah, that's true.
So it also happens as well. Yeah. So it's rain and sunny, but it's generally very, very warm weather all year through.
Okay, fam. So the next subject we're going to talk about is transportation here in Uganda. So I want to ask, like, is it very, accessible, or is it easy to get transportation here in Uganda, like a taxi or Uber or something of that nature?
Yes, it is very easy. So getting a local taxi, like a matatu, that's how we usually call it, is very, very cost effective. Okay. It is very cheap, so that's what majority people use. Okay. And then getting an Uber is slightly expensive. Okay. Yeah. So you can't use an Uber every day. Unless it is like a special occasion, you're all dressed for a dinner or something, a party, you're wearing heels for the ladies, or you don't want dust to go on you. And that's when you get an Uber. That's if you don't have a private car. Right. But a day to day, you're waking up every day, you're going to work. You're either going to use a matatu, that is a taxi, or you're going to use a motorcycle, which we call a boda. Yes. There is also one called Safe Border, which has an app, so you can easily go on your phone, call that guy. So that one is very safe, because you know the person who is coming to pick you up, you have their number, you have their helmet number. Yeah, so that is the commonest means of transport.
Okay, what about somebody like that's coming like right out of the airport? As soon as they get out of the plane, they get their bags and everything like that. Is it like transportation accessible right then and there, or do you have to call an Uber or something of that nature?
So I would advise them to call an Uber. But also when you reach at the airport, when you get out like this, there are always special hires that you can hire.
Okay.
But an Uber is safer because Uber is everywhere. I believe there is Uber in the US as well. Yeah. So if you have your Uber app, would it work in Uganda? Would you have to first change location?
You know what? I'm not actually sure because I actually downloaded Uber when I got here. I didn't have it.
Because you have to register with a local number.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have a friend, they can order an Uber for you, but Uber is the safest. Yeah. Okay. It works like an Uber anywhere else, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any other advice you would give my subscribers or your subscribers about transportation here in Uganda?
I would say for someone new in Uganda, Uber is the safest if you don't look Ugandan, because people are going to be like, sometimes you can just tell this is a foreigner, you know. So Uber is safe. Safe border is also safe, the motorcycle I just told you about. Yes, and then of course walking with your friends, you can just walk to town, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, family, there was one thing I wanted to mention about transportation here in Uganda. It's about how taxis and bodas get their customers. So this is something I was not aware of when I first came to Uganda. It was bodas and taxis, they honk their horns and they have a conductor like hanging out the window, you know, doing this or like doing a gesture to get your attention basically. And bodas, like they honk their horn, they do the same kind of gesture. But me personally, I'm not used to that kind of gesture. So many times I have gotten into some situations because I thought these guys were saying hello to me. So, you know, I didn't call so many taxis and bodas to come over to me, not realizing what they were doing. So that's something I didn't want to mention to guys. Like, I would tell you, like, there was a boda one day, he was just riding down, you know, he was doing this to me, like, you know, trying to get my attention. I'm like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? What's up, bro? So he came over and was like, okay, you come. I'm like, where are we going? Like, where we going? I'm like, I'm walking, you know, I'm not trying to get on the boat or nothing like that. And he looked at me, you know, they did the teeth smack and everything, and he said something to me, but I didn't know the language, so I kind of let that go. But I realized that that's their way of getting their customers. They don't really wait on you to decide, do you want to get on this boat or no? They're going to pull up on you immediately.
So Ugandans, I mean, we are hustlers. You have to look for the money, you know. Indeed. So when there's some times of the day when the borders, like customers are not there, like a Sunday, people are very few in town. So borders, taxis, they call everyone they see moving around because they'll be like, oh, let's go, you know. But on a Monday morning when it's very busy, trust me, you won't see any of them calling you. It's that's actually, they'll give you an attitude because they already have like a person already. Even offer them money, they'll be like, nah, that's little. Next person, yeah. So
that's very true.
That's how they do it, yeah.
So that kind of messed me up, guys. So don't be like me. When you come here and you see a taxi or a boda, you know, doing this to you or something like that. If you don't want to go with a boda or the taxi, then you just ignore. You don't even have to look back. The best way you can.
Ignore. Yeah.
You don't even have to say nothing to them.
No,
you don't have to say no or anything like that. Just turn your head and keep moving. That's how they look for their customers. Or you can just shake your head like this, because taxis will do that a lot. They'll stop either next to you, or if you're walking down the side road to the main road, they'll stop on the side road and you know, try to get your attention. You just shake your head.
Be like, no, continue.
Just keep it moving. All right. Okay, family. So the next subject that we're going to talk about is the type of businesses that you should expect to see your first time getting here to Uganda, or for those of you who will return to Uganda, because a lot of things have changed. Not a lot, but there are many things that have changed and improved. So we're going to talk about that just a little bit. So I've seen a lot of local shops, like right outside of people's homes and whatnot. Where I'm from, we call them a convenience store. What do you guys call them? Just like a shop?
Yes, we call it a shop, a small shop. Okay. A retailer, actually it's like a retailer shop, but it's very small. Yeah.
What are some things that people can expect to find in there?
So it's where you buy day-to-day items like sugar, salt, cooking oil, like milk, bread as well. Yeah. Day-to-day things to use at home, tomatoes, onions are there as well.
All right, so if somebody wants to get like their fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, or even fresh meat, something of that nature, what kind of markets do you guys have for that? Should they go to a supermarket inside, or is there like open air markets or something like that?
So that will depend on where you're staying. Sometimes if you go to that, you call it convenience shop. Yes. So if you go to the convenience shop, is sometimes there is you could get actually fresh vegetables there. Sometimes, not all the times, in the area. But if you want to do like quite a big shopping for the entire week for the family, then you can go to the big market, like a farmer's market, where you find like fresh beans. Everything is there, fresh food. Matoke, everything is there that is fresh, that is actually not grown in Kampala. People come from different districts and bring all the fresh food into Kampala. Yeah,
I thought that stuff was local. I didn't know that.
No, most food is not grown in Kampala. Kampala is the capital. In Uganda, yes. So it's more of people. There are more people here than gardens. So they grow it in other parts of the country, but they bring it to Kampala to sell it. So you can go to that big farmers market and get all the fresh food and stock your fridge for the entire week. Yeah.
So if people are living around like Kampala area, the downtown area, or the city, what kind of markets should they go to? Is there any markets around where they can get their fresh food items?
You want the names?
Well, just one or two in particular, if you know any.
So Nakasero Market, Kalere Market, yeah, Owino Market.
Yeah, I only know two of them, which is Nakasero and Owino Market.
Yes.
Those are like
Kalere
the two big ones I've been to.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the other one yet.
It's like the other side, kind of from town if you're going to Mulago.
Okay. Other than that, what about like supermarkets here? What kind of supermarkets do you guys have here?
So we do have ShopRites. We do have Mega Standards. I'm trying to think of the international ones maybe that you may know. There is...
I never heard of Mega Standard. ShopRite is the one I know of other than that. But the local one, Mega Standard and Tuskys, I think it is?
Yes, there is Tuskys as well.
Those are the only ones I know of.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised to find a ShopRite out here.
Really?
That blew my mind.
It has always been there, and they have quite many branches as well. So yeah, so it's like any other supermarket. So the good thing about the supermarket, you still find the fresh food as well, but it's quite expensive to buy fresh food from the supermarket. Yes, it's cheaper, it's more affordable to go to the farmer's market to get fresh food. So you only go to the supermarket to look for items that you would not normally find at your convenience store or at the farmer's market. Yeah. If you're trying to buy, I don't know, maybe like kiwi fruits. Kiwi fruit, you won't find it at the farmer's market.
No, you won't.
But you can find it in ShopRite.
Well, Nakasero does have some kind of like exotic fruit sometimes.
Oh my god. Yeah, Nakasero as well is good. They have everything as well. Yeah. Yeah. But ShopRite, this is just my opinion. I think people who buy food from the supermarket are usually foreigners. Because it's less crowded and it's very orderly.
So you don't see a lot of local like Ugandans going to ShopRite, things like that?
No, not to shop food. No. Shopping food, you go to the farmer's market. But foreigners tend to buy food in the supermarket because maybe they are not convenient to go to the farmer's market because it's a lot of chaos. You know the place. It's very chaotic. Yeah. They'll pull your leg, pull your shirt, come here. Yes.
And I wanted to mention that there's a place called Gazaland I've been to.
Gazaland, yes.
So I wanted to ask you about your interaction, like going there. I don't know how long you've been there or something like that.
So it's everyone.
It's like as a woman walking through there.
So the thing about Kampala, people, when you go to town, people look for money. I mean, I call it like the hustler spirit of Uganda. It's just how it is.
They're very aggressive.
They're very aggressive in getting their customers. So when you get right to these malls, downtown, I call them downtown malls, that lady selling hair is going to call you, the guy selling jeans is going to pull you, the guy selling a shirt is going to pull you.
Now, do they physically pull you? Or
yes, they grab your arm, yes. Oh, wow. Yes, they grab your arm. So you have to go doing this. Yeah, Sometimes I'm so angry and I just throw like, guys, just leave me alone. I'm not buying,
So do you consider that to be like harassment or anything like that?
Well,
do you feel violated when people do those things?
I used to, let me tell you my personal experience. I went to Owino. It used to be worse. They go grabbing your hand like everywhere. So I told the guys, why don't you just leave me alone? They told, if you don't want your hand to be pulled, you go and shop on Kampala Road.
Oh, wow.
But if you come downtown, you are going to pull your hand.
So they basically try to normalize that kind of behavior.
Yes.
That's not okay.
So you should expect it, yeah.
It bothers me like when I go through Gazaland. I don't like when they're selling paints.
But they do it to everyone, they do it to everyone. So it's not like they pick out. No, everyone, they will just try to get you as a customer. Yeah, and sometimes it works, you know.
It does. I mean,
Yeah, sometimes it works.
the way they get your attention, you know,
Yeah.
like sometimes you don't be looking
Even
for certain
if you don't know
products.
what you want actually, when you go downtown and you don't know what to find a specific item, when someone pulls your hand, you tell them, Auntie, I'm looking for this, you know, they'll be like, oh, come, they
Yeah.
take you where it is.
Now that I have experienced a lot. Now
Yes.
I do appreciate a lot of people for doing
Yeah,
that.
so it helps.
Because I've been lost. Like the first time I went to God's Land, I got lost. I didn't even know how to get out of there.
Yes.
And I was only looking for like some hair products or something of that nature. And I was asking one of the people because they were selling it, and they were like, "Oh no, you go there to this side." And there was a lady who actually took me by my hand and walked me all the way up there. Didn't ask me for anything in return, but she knew that me going up there would help make the sale. So she
Yes,
actually
the
did
thing
that.
about Ugandan shops, people work together. They kind of help each other.
Okay.
Yes, so normally if they take you and they buy a product, she might get like a discount or like some small pay from this shop person at the end of the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you keep just like help each other in business, in that manner,
All right. Is there any other kind of business that people should expect to see, like any kind of street vendors or anything like that?
Yes, oh my god. So the thing about Kampala, the interesting thing, I don't know if it's how it is in the US, when it gets to 7 p.m., people bring all the food to the street. They bring all the items to the street, actually starting like at about 5 p.m. Because many people are coming from office going to work, and you know if there is like a taxi park, you know, so everyone goes to get a taxi from the taxi park. So people come out on the street. There is that crazy busy moment from 5 p.m. up to like even midnight sometimes, where business is booming, you know, selling food, selling clothes in the night. Yeah, so street vendors, I mean, of course, Corona has disturbed us, but in the night, street business is booming. It's just how it is.
Yes,
Food,
indeed.
we have some places which don't close, like, you know, Kabalagala. Have you been to
I
Kabalagala?
used to live over there.
Oh, so you know what I'm
I
talking
know
about.
exactly what you mean.
1 a.m. you'll get your Rolex and chicken and chips.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so
Plenty of times I done came from a bar or something. I was like, man, I ain't got nothing to eat. I would stop right along Kabalagala. I'll get a whole chicken already roasted.
Yeah.
I'll give me some chips and
Yeah.
chapati to go with it.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
yeah, true.
Right on home.
So they work the entire night, you know.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is policing here in Uganda. I want to know, like, are there any differences between the policing here in Uganda versus abroad? And from what I experienced, there is, but I'm still here as a tourist, so it's always going to be, my interaction is going to be a little bit different. So I want to know from your perspective, like, how is your interactions with police, if any at all?
Okay, so it really depends because we have many different categories of the police. So we have like the traffic officers who wear white, whom you're going to interact with on a daily basis. If you don't have a permit or it's expired or you don't have insurance on your car, I don't know if you consider that as the police. And then we have the normal police, which is Uganda police, which has police stations in every maybe LC1 at local level.
Okay.
They have police stations there. So usually interact with those. If they steal you like at home, or if you get like any sort of case, maybe abuse, or if anything happens to you, that's the police where you go to your local police.
Okay.
Yes, we have those. And then we have LDU. I think it's local defense unit. So those don't usually interact with people, but sometimes they're used to maintain security, especially in the night, LDU. And then we have the UPDF, which is more like the army wing now of the police.
Okay.
So we have different levels. But I would say on a day-to-day, you interact with either traffic officers or the local police of Uganda.
Okay.
So me as an individual, I've never interacted with the police because I've never had a case. Yes, so Uganda police won't bother you really, unless you have a problem. But a policeman will never walk up to you and try to, you know.
Okay, so let's say I'm a victim of like theft, and I need to report somebody stealing my phone or my wallet or something like that. Do you happen to know like which officers I can interact with?
Yes, so if they steal anything from you, you go and report to the nearest police station in your area, the nearest one. They will take the case, the way they make you report the case and all that.
Okay.
So now when you get to interact with the police, Uganda police is, it's just corrupted. That's how it is, yeah.
Okay.
So the thing I dislike about the Uganda police the most is instead of trying to help you, when they're in a problem, they'll try to make money out of you. It's
I've
just how it
experienced
is.
that.
Yes.
I've experienced that.
They'll want to help you, but they'll want to make money out of you. So if you're trying to make a statement, if you're trying to do this, they'll try to make some extra cash off you.
Okay.
But apart from that, you won't have scenarios where the police is going to attack a civilian out of the blue.
Okay.
That will never happen.
So
unless
they don't
it is
target
a thief,
people.
no.
Okay.
No, they don't. But unfortunately, the recent situations we have had with during this lockdown because of the coronavirus, they brought up. I believe it's a section of the police that doesn't usually interact with people. That's what I would say.
Okay.
So the LDU, they were enforcing the curfew, all these lockdown laws or whatever during the night. So unfortunately, they've killed very many people. So after the president would make an address and say curfew is supposed to stop at 7 p.m., meaning at 7 p.m. everyone's supposed to be in their house. If they find you at 7:30, they beat up most of them, and at certain instances they shot at some civilians, retained gunshot wounds, went to the hospital and then lost lives. But that only has happened during this lockdown.
Okay, so that's not a problem that you guys
It's not
face.
a normal situation. No,
Wow,
no.
okay.
But on a normal circumstance, we don't have incidents of police killing people unless there is a theft. Because sometimes during the night, if there is a lot of criminal going on, police is going to ensure order during the night. So if they get you walking at 1 a.m., they're going to ask you why you're walking at 1 a.m. Yes, so sometimes the police moves around to get crime what? People are committing
crime watching,
crime.
basically.
Yes.
Like
People,
community
like
watch.
people who are stealing, yes, especially theft.
I've actually experienced that myself. One of my neighborhoods I was living in, I was just walking around pretty much late at night, and someone was telling me that, there's police over at the soccer pitch, don't go that way because they're going to ask for your ID and everything. If you don't have your ID, then they might take you. So I was like, oh yeah, let me go because I definitely don't have my passport on me or nothing like that. I don't walk around my passport every day. So that was something I noticed.
Yeah.
I did want to ask, do you have police that wear regular clothes, or they always wear their uniforms? Do they wear regular civilian clothes to blend in?
That's a nice one.
Because they do that in Kenya. I've noticed that in Nairobi, they do that a lot.
So they do that when they are spying.
Oh.
Yes. So I wouldn't call that the police. That is a spy.
Okay.
Yeah. Or unless it is a police investigating a certain case.
Okay.
And they're trying to find out something.
Like a detective.
Yes, like a detective. Yes.
Okay.
But on a regular basis, we don't have policemen who wear casual clothes.
Okay.
Unless they're up to something in particular. Yeah.
All right, family. So last but not least, we're going to talk about some interactions between people here in Uganda, local people. How they interact with one another, how they greet one another, things of that nature. And one of the things I wanted to ask you is, do you see a lot of negative interactions with people? Do you see people arguing and fighting all the time, or do people have decent conversations?
So one thing about Ugandans that everyone should know, Ugandans are the most friendly people you can ever come across.
Okay.
It is very easy to walk up to someone that you do not know and start a conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's so easy. So people are very, very friendly. If you are a foreigner, I think it has a lot to do with our culture. They tell us to embrace visitors in our culture. If someone is a visitor in your home, or if someone comes to your home, you should have observed this, and you don't know them, you start by welcoming them and give them a seat. Okay. And start a conversation. Okay. So people are friendly, by the way. It's just how we are, yeah. So people are really friendly. Okay. Yeah, and it's very rare for foreigners to have negative experiences with people unless they steal them. But in general, people are very friendly. It's easy to talk to someone. You can start a conversation. Yeah, it's very easy.
One thing I have noticed that people aren't really argumentative. I've been in a few situations where someone tried to cheat me or something of that nature. They don't really argue too much. If they do, you really got to push them to a certain point, in my opinion. Because I've seen people where I knew, okay, they're about to start fighting, but you could just tell one person really doesn't want to fight, or they want to get physical or something like that.
Yes.
Do you know why people do that? Why aren't they so ready to fight?
It's our culture.
Okay.
Yeah. We are taught to, one, respect elders, but in general, it is not a normal thing to fight.
Okay.
Yeah, it is not a normal thing to like fight or argue.
Okay.
No, so it's not in us. I would say I've watched like very many of reality shows of Americans. Oh my god, they're so dramatic. I used to like
TV.
watch like Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
I don't know, Housewives. We find them like way dramatic. Like we can't deal with that. We are more calm.
Well, see, that's not reality though. They do that for TV, but
I'm
not gonna lie.
In general,
in America, I will say this. I have seen a lot of situations where it really don't take a whole lot to get somebody that don't want to fight you. You know,
okay,
it can be very little.
Let me tell you something funny. I saw this clip of a girl, an American girl, fighting with a mother-in-law over a seat. Like she wanted to take the fruit.
Was it recently?
Recently,
Yeah.
yes. In the husband's car.
I've seen this.
So I was asking myself, how do you start a fight with your mother-in-law? That is unheard of.
Well, see, that goes down to culture things. Like, we don't have that kind of that regard, like, for families and culture. You know what I'm saying?
Here people are more calm. Yeah, we
and
are
they give
more
that
calm.
respect to their parents, I see.
Yes.
They give the utmost respect to elders and parents out here.
People will still fight, but only if you've pressed them to the wall. But in most cases, it's not easy to start a fight with someone.
Okay.
I can spend an entire year without seeing people fighting or anywhere, even in my neighborhood. Or I don't remember last time I saw someone fighting. It is very rare, really.
I say this: only fights I have seen in Uganda are bodas or at a taxi park.
Exactly.
That's
taxi
it.
park, yeah. Because they're arguing about customers, they want passengers. Borders maybe are arguing about something. But on a day-to-day life, in a home, in a neighborhood, it is very rare to see people fighting.
That's true.
It's not common, really.
I don't even see like couples have arguments. You understand? Like,
Couples
I come
do.
from a very dysfunctional life.
Do.
I'm sure they do, but it's not something you really see like out in the open. If they do it in the privacy of their own home or on their own time. You don't see them like in restaurants arguing, or you don't see people like just in public putting all their business out there. You know. Now I have a lot of respect for people who do stuff like that because I'm still learning that kind of patience myself. You know, but is that also goes down to like the culture? Do your parents teach you guys not to do that?
It's not normal for us.
Okay.
It's not normal. Yeah, it's not normal to even be in a restaurant talking to someone and you start quarreling. That's not normal in Uganda. Yeah,
what I will say is this: my mom taught me when I was young, like whatever goes on in the house stays in the house. So I keep that in mind when I have my interactions in life, but sometimes I forget. If somebody, makes me mad or something like that, it might come out right then and there. But I try my hardest, not to let those things affect me in public, and I try to deal with it in a private setting. But here, you guys are like experts at that.
It's not that people don't get hurt or are not angry, but I think we process it differently. Okay. Yeah, it's very rare to. I've never seen people like in a restaurant shouting over each other.
Okay. Alrighty, so that about wraps it up for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everybody for watching. I appreciate everybody for sticking around and checking this video out. Please go to Ray's channel, let her introduce her channel and everything. She's also on Facebook too, so please follow Ray on all her social media platforms. Go ahead, tell them where they can follow you at.
Yes, so Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook are Ray Kembabazi. And then YouTube, it's called Post Stories UG. To be links in the description. Okay,
so you guys check out my description for her link, and you go subscribe to her channel. Leave a like and a comment and whatnot. And also for anybody who is willing to support either one of our channels, please go ahead, check that description out, and definitely click those links. Okay. Everybody else, thanks for watching this video, and I really appreciate you for taking the time out today. Thank you.